Dipped in Nonsense podcast, guys. We're back again. Better tell a friend. Making all these ends, riding through the city in my Benz. So some quick bars for you to start off this pod.
Nice.
First up, we have.
Oh, it's your boy Kevin, aka Atticus Warhol, aka Lab the Rat, aka Happy Holidays.
And we have Sevy Sev, Cash Money, Sev the Savage.
You already know who it is. It's your boy coming every single week. It's Q. And this week's very special guest, please introduce yourself.
Joshua Gomez the third.
No problem.
Third?
Also, you may want to speak a little closer to the mic.
There we go.
Third.
Yeah.
Joshua Aaron Gomez the third.
Very good. Awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my gosh. So much fun has been happening in the world lately. You know, so many exciting, fun things. You know what I just found out that's happening? What you're not going to believe?
Going on?
Or maybe you can't believe it. But that new Super Mario World, whatever, at Hollywood Studios, Super Mario Land.
That's here.
Yeah, in Hollywood, yeah. So
Okay.
there's the one that's in Japan and Tokyo, and then there's also, they've been building this one over here in Hollywood Studios. That thing's about to be open in March.
Where
I should have showed a video because it looks so cool. Like
Nice.
It's like trending on Twitter, and I don't know.
Yeah.
It looks like awesome. I'm excited for it.
my cousin is there tonight, but you guys said it opens in March, right?
Yeah.
So I was gonna text him after and be like, "Yo, how was
Yeah.
But I guess we'll wait.
Yeah.
Maybe we can make a trip. That'd be tight.
It looks cool.
And it's all these interactive things, like you get like an armband or something like that. So when you go into the land, they have like the different boxes and the bricks that Mario normally bumps into. So you bump your armband into shit and you like get points, and the environment will interact with you. Like things will move around and or make noises and shit, and you can do all types of stuff. So that's gonna be pretty fun,
Fuck
right?
with that.
Right.
Fuck with
Very
that.
fun.
That would bring me out to Universal Studios, because the last time I went was like Horror Nights in like 2017 or something like that.
Have you gone to the Harry Potter one?
No, but
That's magical in the winter
I like the
time.
Harry Potter land. It's cool. It's fun.
Nice. Is it big or?
It's not as big as you think. I mean, the one in Florida is like much more massive, but it is like when you're there, you're like in awe because there's a castle.
Yeah.
And they have like the ride inside.
The ride's a good ride too. Solid.
Yeah, but like it's cool if you're into like Harry Potter, you know, like because I grew up like every year,
Right.
But I'm glad that they're bringing Super Mario Land because it's like just another avenue, you know.
they had a Mario Kart game in there, and that shit looks
What?
cracking. Yeah, they got
Mario
like a
Kart
Mario Kart
game?
racer
Yo, that's tight.
That's tight.
like a fucking probably one of those little thrill rides that you're riding around.
Oh,
That'll be fun. You guys seen that Mario movie? What you think about that? Don't you guys love Chris Pratt?
he was number one choice in my mind to play Mario.
Oh man. That's I mean we were kind of touching base on this a little bit before, but yeah, I think the issue, Chris Pratt was good for me in Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
Parks and Rec was like, you're crushing it, dude.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then he kind of bled into Guardians, and I was like, good for you, you're breaking, post Parks. And then Jurassic World came out, and I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed the first one, and then everything after that, and I was just like, you're just doing the same thing
Yeah.
for every single role.
Yeah.
So
Pretty wild. I feel like, he was kind of, on the come up, and then he became like, a Hollywood leading man.
Yeah.
And just the quality of the movies that he decided to take on just immediately dropped off. And it was just like AAA blockbuster, bags of garbage.
Bags of garbage.
I think everyone went from like loving Chris Pratt, because there was a time where it's like, dude, Chris Pratt, he's
Like,
fucking
dude, he's
funny.
getting fit.
Yeah. And then when he got fit for the first Guardians,
Like,
and then-
what'd you do? I just stopped
and I
drinking
think
beer.
maybe he just hit a platform or was just in the public eye so much that everyone's just like, this guy is not that cool.
Yeah. On second thought.
You know what?
So that means that you're not excited about him playing Mario? In the new Mario
let's
movie?
bring it back to the I think not psyched. I'm excited for Jack Black playing Bowser, and then
Charlie Day as Luigi.
I think I'm excited
Keegan
for
Michael Key as
Yeah.
Toad.
excited for everyone else in that movie.
Anna Taylor-Joy is a good Peach.
Yeah,
They got everyone else right.
Yeah.
But you were like, Chris Pratt. You know?
Would it have been better if it was a real Italian man?
I think so.
I don't know.
I think it's just like the Wayne, the Rock Johnson. Just kidding, Dwayne. That's an Office reference. Just kind of just they needed someone
Like-
to poster it, bankability, brand it. You hear Chris Pratt and
Big name.
most general public will be like, "Oh, I'll go see that."
Yeah.
You know,
I like Chris.
Familiar voice.
I love The Rock.
Couldn't they get like Emerald Lagasse, Andrew Schultz?
Well, who is like the original dude? A lot of people
It's
were
gotta
like,
be a Japanese guy.
they were like, why didn't you guys get the original dude that did the original voice for Yeah, exactly.
Mario.
But I could also see how that would make people
I'm a Japanese man
through
playing an Italian man. And
hour and a half movie.
The whole time. It's like you
I
can't,
don't know about this.
can't really have much dialogue going
exactly.
on.
I don't know who'd be a good voice actor, you know? But I will say the Japanese dub has some really strong anime voice actors,
Word.
like doing all that. So like one of my ideas is to bring that to like Little Tokyo, because it's like anime voice actors are always supremely better than having celebrity like kind of like voices. And then, you know, the template. But have you seen the latest trailer?
I don't know.
Oh, there's this one part halfway through where you if you're any fan of Mario games, you get juiced.
Okay.
You just like
Send that. Send that resource.
Link me.
You got my number.
there you go.
That's fun stuff, guys.
No.
Man, you know what I want to hear more about? Our special guest. Hey. What's up, Josh? What's up, man?
So
What's up, guys?
So your version 3.
Version 3.
I'm
gonna keep it a stack with y'all. That is just something that I was like, that sounds cool. I'm not the third. I'm the first.
you got me.
Because you guys are my homies and I feel comfortable with y'all.
You got me. Hey, that's
so one of my favorite drummers, his name is Matthew Helders. He plays for Arctic Monkeys. During the Suck It and See era of that band, Alex Turner, the singer of Arctic Monkeys, introduced Matt Helders as Matthew J. Helders III. And I was like, that's really cool. And I think I was like a freshman in college or no, 2011. I was a sophomore or junior in high school.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to be cool.
Yeah.
And I thought that sounded cool. So I was just like,
The third.
Joshua Aaron Gomez III.
That's tight.
yeah, it's like
It's very prestigious.
It's a stage name.
Prestigious.
Yeah.
There you go.
Quite prestigious.
But it's not real. The Aaron is real, Joshua Aaron. But we sometimes we talk about who's we. Me, I do like Jag 3, Joshua Aaron Gomez Jag 3.
That's pretty cool.
I see it on all my gear. So
I like that.
that's a good run.
that looks good.
But I don't know. What do you guys want to know?
You into what do? You like playing this music? You in this music? You doing this music?
Yeah, dude.
Let's start from the beginning.
The beginning.
Like, when did you really like start getting into music? When did you know, like, start gravitating or knowing like this is what you want to do? Or,
How'd you find music?
yeah.
My pop played guitar, and it's funny. This last month he's been like, "Yo, do you have an extra guitar you can give me this and that?" And I just bought it. He'll probably see this after Christmas. I bought him a guitar for Christmas because I was just like, you know what, old man, quit asking. No, I'm kidding. No, but he played guitar. I was really close to my dad growing up. Just in our apartment, he would just play guitar and I just sit there and kind of just hop on like some saucepans or something.
That's cool.
You know what I'm saying? And when I was around like 10 years old, I think like 5th grade, I always wanted to be a drummer. My parents put me in drum lessons. I did that for a year and I sucked. I sucked. Go ahead.
Oh, well, you started on saucepans?
I started on saucepans. There's actually, my mom has a picture of me in Mexico. My mom's from Zacatecas.
Oh.
At the rancho at the farm. Literally, my grandpa set up like I was sitting on a bucket and like a bunch of other buckets.
Wow.
Just like a kid in like a baseball getup and like sandals, just like jamming out.
Wow.
So I always wanted to be a drummer,
That's right.
but I was terrible.
Yeah, sure.
And so a year went by, and my dad specifically, he's like, "Yo, so listen, I'm like a 10-year-old kid. He's like, listen, years gone by, and your instructor talked to me and was like, maybe you should try something else." And I was like, no, I want to be a drummer. And he was like, well, too bad, I'm paying for your lessons. So
you're out of the band, Josh.
Yeah. So he was like, do you want to learn how to play guitar? And I was like, no. And he was like, well, Too bad.
Too bad.
So I played guitar. I played guitar for 4 years. Actually, I played guitar up until I was 17, technically. But when I turned 14, and I feel like this is one reason that I didn't get good at drums is because I didn't have a drum set to practice on. But when I was 14,
you're still using saucepan.
Yeah. I would only practice.
Yeah,
at
it's not tuned,
the instructor lessons, what have you. You know,
I see.
That was the only time I actually got to rehearse. Exactly.
Yeah.
So the audacity of my parents was when I was 14, they buy my little brother a drum set.
What is
And I was
this?
like, the entire time I was trying to play drums.
This kid doesn't even know how to play.
Exactly.
They're like, well, you play
No
guitar now.
disrespect, Chico. He's a kid. He's little. Our gap is pretty big. I think it's like 10 years or something like that. So he plays the kit like 2 or 3 times. It's a toy, you know? He's just like, all right, cool, I'm over it.
Yeah.
Collects
Music
dust
sucks.
over the summer. It was like, yeah. And I think I was 14. I was like, there's a drum set. I was really into hardcore music at the time.
Yeah.
I loved Under Oath. And one of my favorite records was Define the Great Line. It came out in 2006. And I was like, I'm going to learn this record. And I just locked myself in this hot ass garage in the desert every day for that summer and just learned the record best I could from front to back. And then I just started doing that for everything. But honestly, I think guitar gave me and helped me with rhythm and understanding music and like where to fall into certain pockets, what have you. And yeah, I technically, aside from the lessons that did nothing for me at 10 years old,
Dang.
I kind of learned on my own.
Wow.
So
YouTube
yeah.
What was like the process to like, I mean, like, you would just listen to these songs over and over and just kind of listen to the drum
So
line?
I'd start from the beginning and just kind of play through as best as I could. If I messed up, I just kind of play through. Song would end. I would not move on from that song until I learned it. So go start it over, play through as best as I can.
It's pretty dope.
And that's honestly what I do now. Whenever anyone hits me up like, hey, can you play my music? I'm like, send me your catalog and I will let you know. Give me like a week.
That's cool.
And if I can't, I'll let you know. Jazz stumps me. Jazz is the one where I'm like, I can't. I'm not trained to do this.
Jazz.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like when we went to New Orleans.
Yeah.
That one drummer, you guys are just like in awe. Just like,
I was like, holy. That's one that I cannot by ear do or have even tried.
What about it?
Yeah, like, do you mean like jam sessions, like in that way, or?
Hard. It's
Yeah.
difficult. It's like I don't know, because it's like, I guess jazz is an orthodox, but also kind of when you think about it, the way I learned is also kind of an orthodox.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I get really intimidated because I have another friend that plays music and does the whole live musician thing, and he was on tour in Paris, and this is a professional drummer.
Yeah.
This guy's taking places, right?
Yeah.
He was in Paris. He went to a jazz bar. I'm sorry, I'm not going to say your name because I don't want to put you on blast. But you're great. I love you. He went to this jazz bar and they hated him.
oh, he played at the jazz bar.
Yeah, because it was like an improv, like whoever wants to come up and
you're
play.
playing a riff.
Yeah, exactly. So he hops on drums. And I saw the videos. I thought he was holding it down. I was like, dude, you're crushing it. Like I could never. And I think I saw on his story or something. He was like, they fucking hated me.
Damn.
But that was
Like the audience,
but they're also
or the fans?
they Aussie French.
Yeah, like the musicians, the audience,
the
like they were just like,
musicians.
oh, you're not a jazz musician. You're a
so-
musician.
Oh,
You're not
you're
a
just
jazz musician.
You're just a regular musician.
Yeah, you're just
Not
there's
one of
actually
us.
this-
You color in between the lines.
Yeah.
You know.
There's actually this funny joke that I learned when I was in college. It's just like, what do you call a person that hangs out with musicians? A drummer.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I thought that one.
Oh,
In my little MIDI class.
Chris, I'm gonna go home and learn an album. Just
Yeah, like let me just
wow,
go
that's
learn.
messed
Let me
up.
just go learn this double pedal.
So where'd you go from learning songs? You know, what was it? Dang, what was that Kanye line? 50 beats, 5 summers, or something like that. Whatever. Like, how'd you go from
3 beats a day for 5
Yeah, 3 beats a day for 5 summers. So how'd you go from practicing songs in the garage to like what were the next steps? Or I guess where did the journey go from there?
So I had a family friend who I call a cousin. We were kids growing up in the IE. They were from San Bernardino. I was from Moreno Valley. Shout out.
Moval, the murder.
Yeah, the murder. Yeah, you know what's up. The murder. Yeah. We just dreamt big as kids. We were just like, you know what? We loved a lot of heavy music. We loved Paramore. And we were just like, you know what? That's going to be us one day. Just kind of just dreaming big. You know, it was like 14, 15, 16-year-olds. And they went and they did it. They did it big. And I just kind of, I wouldn't say followed suit, but I just kind of, things happened.
Yeah.
One thing led to another. People hit me up and play this show. Hey, our drummer can't make this one. And
that's cool.
Like, cool. Yeah, I can sit in. I mean, for the record, I still fully have my day job and stuff. I do that, but like, it's fun. It's cool. It was never something, not that I was betting against myself, but it was just like, the dream was really big.
Yeah.
You know, and the chances sometimes are just, yeah. And I just kind of took it in stride. I was just like, you know what? If the phone rings, if people hit me up, I'll do it, however big, however small.
Yeah.
Taking a lot of losses, had a lot of dubs.
Yeah.
You're going to get a lot of no's before you get that yes. It's just, you got to be down.
Yeah.
You got to be, it weathers you, but it's honestly.
You learn so much, right?
You learn a lot. And I've met so many cool people, and byproduct here, you know, me eventually coming over to Kev. It's cool, man. I don't regret any of it. I mean, there are unfortunate things that have happened just because industry's industry, but like, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's taken me places where I never thought. I was a kid in a garage, you know, playing to Under Oath, and, you know, gotten to see some cool things, meet some cool people, and I'm very, very thankful for it. Some of the best things in my life have come from music. So
that's really dope.
Yeah.
And it's, I think too, when you kind of go to pursue your own thing, if it's untraditional, I think you immediately go into like a different track of life than most people who just kind of go right into just regular work or into 100%. The just straight up, I guess, like only putting their time into the comfort of their like setup job, as opposed to kind of you be going and experiencing all these different new things, or just meeting people and being in situations that would have never happened otherwise. Yeah. If you had not like just had an interest and kind of stuck with it. That's really tight.
Yeah.
Would you say that you would say like yes to a lot of things? Like you took on like as many opportunities as you can to like get the exposure or get the practice, and then did you find yourself saying yes? Like,
that is a great question. I like that you asked that. In the beginning, yes, because in the beginning it's like pay your dues, you know.
Yeah.
So you gotta really put yourself out there. Kind of going back to like, you're gonna get a lot of no's before you get that one yes.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of times it was just saying yes a lot and being tired a lot because I said yes a lot. Right. And but I mean, that gives you experiences and gets you certain places sometimes and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
But like, you're not gonna win all the time. That's okay. Like, you take the lesson, you take the L, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think now at this point in my life, and this is funny because I've been having this conversation a lot lately, but like, I think there were moments in my, I don't even like to call it this, but just for the sake of the conversation, there were moments in my musical career where I was pursuing, like, you know what, like, I want to be successful, I want to be known, this is that. But those moments, those times, those seasons of my life was when I was most unhappy doing music. So when the pandemic happened, it was kind of a blessing in disguise because it kind of allowed me to sit back and reevaluate if I still wanted to do this. And it's funny because our mutual friend, you can even ask Dimitri, there were so many times over that course where I was like, yeah, you know what, guys, I think I'm done. Like, I think I'm gonna retire or whatever. And Dimitri every time would be like, no, you're not. I am not letting you. Which I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for those types of friends. But I think now, going from like my early 20s, which was like from 20 to 23, 24, and like just grinding and like having that mindset of like, oh shit, like, not that I was ever like super grand or anything, but like, the phone is ringing, like I get to do these things, like this is really cool. To now where like I'm like near 30 and I'm like, I'm only doing this if I like doing this.
Yeah.
If I'm having fun. Like
Yeah.
if the team is good, if I believe in the artist, I'm down.
That's dope.
Otherwise, if it's gonna take away from my peace of mind, it's not worth it.
Exactly.
I think I was most unhappy. I was super depressed. I didn't have like a balance of, I was on the road so much that I would miss being home. And then when I was home, I would miss being on the road.
Yeah.
And then it was just such a back and forth. It'd be like the first week of being on the road, and I'd be like, man, I should have stayed home. And then it'd be the last week of being on the road. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't like, look at everything that just happened. Like, now I'm about to be home. And then I'd come back home, and then I feel like years went by for like my friends, my family. I wasn't present. I was kind of just like limbo, floating. Like, where is this taking me? You know, I didn't like that. I'm not gonna lie. It would stress me out. It kind of strained my relationship with music for a little bit. With people. But like I said, like all that stuff is lessons, and it got me where I am now. That's the mindset, the mentality, and the last 2 years of music have been great. I'm not gonna lie.
Nice.
I've gotten to do a lot of fun things, work with a lot of dope people, a lot of like producers. I'm not allowed to talk about too much of that yet.
True.
When that comes out, comes out. But like a lot of people that growing up, I was like being in the room with some of those people. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, wow.
16-year-old Josh should be freaking out right now. So
that's so cool.
So yeah,
that's something I like to evaluate, as well as like the idea, like, what would your younger self think about you right now? You know, I mean, that kid who was like on pots and pans to like, you know, being told 100%. Like, we're not going to continue your drumming like or instructor, and then, you know, being forced to play like the guitar and all this stuff, to like now you're like, I mean, some of the venues you play are like just
even shit like
nostalgic,
that.
like, or like, what is it? You played at the Roxy.
Nice.
Have you played at like the El Cid? Or like what are some like memorable like ones? Because
Actually,
I mean, because I've only seen you local.
This one's really cool. So I did a tour. I did the Does This Look Infected tour with Sum 41 in 2018. It was a 15-year anniversary. We were the opening band. Nice. We were like the first up, but that was still tight.
I get to chill and watch
the venues were fucking sick.
Nice.
We did like Terminal 5 in New York. But like, in retrospect, the point of the story, I think it was like 2012, 2013. I went to go 2013. I saw Arctic Monkeys at the Wiltern, which is down the street.
Yeah.
I saw Arctic Monkeys at the Wiltern, and I'm literally there on the barricade. Arctic Monkeys is like top 5 bands for me.
Yeah. Oh.
And so I'm there on the barricade fan. I was in line all day. You get into the Wiltern. It's my first time at the Wiltern. I get in there and I'm like, this is a dope venue. And I'm like, I'm probably never going to play this venue in my life. Fast forward a year later, I go see Haim there 2 nights in a row. And their drummer at the time, this was before, not that I didn't know live drumming was a thing, but like I was just like, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
Oh, because
so Haim is a trio of 3 sisters, but they have a live band. And so their drummer at the time, his name was Dash Hutton, dope dude, shreds. And I was like, I want to do that. How do I do that, right? So yeah, I build these memories at the Wiltern, right?
Yeah.
Years go by. Mind you, I forget how old I was in 2013. I think I was like 18 or 19. Having that thought, hey, I'm never going to be able to play this venue.
Yeah.
Phone rings. Dude's like, hey, I'm going on tour with Sum 41. Mm-hmm. Can you come? My drummer dropped out for one reason or another. Family emergency, something. I don't know. Don't know the details of that. But he's like, we have a week to rehearse, and then we leave a couple days later.
Yeah.
Are you down? I had just gotten home from a tour. I think I was like, if I did that tour, which I did, I was gonna be home for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then be on the road for like a month and a half.
Wow.
Damn.
So he's like, let me send you how long this tour is and the venues. Sends it to me. CLA is the last show, and the venue is the Wiltern.
You already knew.
And I was, because the venue, I honestly didn't know any of the other venues. Once I got there, like when I got to New York, Terminal 5, I was like, oh shit, this is tight.
Yeah.
But the Wiltern was like, this is why I'm doing this, you know?
Wow.
That's crazy. It's like the finish line.
Right, exactly, exactly. And then I got to go home. I got to go home right after and sleep in my bed.
Yeah.
And so I do the tour. We play the Wiltern, and I'm just like, this is fucking sick. I go back to that kid on the barricade watching Arctic Monkeys that said to himself, I'm never going to play this venue.
Yeah.
And now my drum set is set up in the exact place that Matt Helger's drum set was set up, you know?
I just imagine it's like you on the barricade watching you playing the drums.
Dude,
like,
you never know. Like,
that's like just...
And that's so humbling. That's so humbling. Like, because you never, like, there might have been a kid at the show that had that same reaction that I had when I saw Dash Hutton, you know? And it's just even crazier because Paramore is also another one of my favorite bands. And they played the Wiltern on Halloween, and I went, and I was just kind of sitting there, and I was like,
you're like, I was on the stage.
Life is wild.
Yeah.
This is really cool.
That's super fire.
So it was cool. Dude, it's been cool. Like I said, like, wins, losses, whatever, like, I don't regret anything. Up until this point, like, it's been cool. It's been fun.
And you're still not 30.
And I'm still not 30.
You're like,
we'll put an X over that. You're redacted age.
You still just got years, man.
What's something you don't enjoy about touring, or what's like some like
challenges,
some challenging aspects of touring?
It's still fucking work.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, oh shit, like you get to see all these cities. I'm like, you kind of get to see the venue and like maybe the surrounding blocks. If you have a day off before and after, cool. Go ahead.
Tell them about the like, what is it? What you guys are doing to other people in New Orleans about like the tour manager. You signed up for this. You're like waking people up.
Yeah.
So tell them about like what you were doing to like other people.
So one of my good friends, our good friends, Dimitri, I'm sure you guys know him too. Got engaged. Congrats. We love that for him. We love you, Krish. And bachelor party in New Orleans, right? We have all these plans. I'm a big food guy. Yeah. So we're kind of bouncing.
Eating gator.
Yeah. I was like, I want to eat gator.
I want to eat gator.
I need a boil, and I need jambalaya.
Nice.
I want a full
Outside
gator.
of that, I don't care what the fuck we do.
Yeah.
And so it didn't help that I think the week before that was my first tour with Dimitri, matter of fact.
Oh, really?
In like 2 years. I think we had, the last time we toured was February of 2020.
That's true, the cowboy tour.
Yeah, the Howdy, this one.
Yeah, the Howdy
3000. And September 2022 is our first, at least mine, I don't know about them, but mine in 2 years. And I was I had to like mentally prepare. It was a small tour, but just given my previous experiences, whatever. So yeah, we go on that run and we come back, we're home for like a week, and then we go to New Orleans. Wow. So I'm still in tour manager mode.
Yeah.
So I'm waking everyone up in the morning like, hey, we said we were going to go here, and if we're going to do this, this, and this, we have to be here by this time, and we have to be back here by this time to shower for the nighttime and catch schedule, all these things. And then Michael, who's another guy who plays with us, he's just like, man, tour daddy, like you haven't broken that. Like you realize you're on vacation, right?
Yeah.
But it's cool. I don't know. I kind of like that formality. Like my parents, our vations as families when we were younger were family road trips, stuff like that. So you had to you had to be up by a certain time to make, certain things, to get to certain places by certain times.
Yeah. I've learned there's two types of people who vacation. I'm like that kind of person where adventure, itinerary, like, hey, we got to be here and here. And then there's the other person like, I just want to read a book and I don't care.
That's my
I just want to let like everything slide. I just want to be
I'm in the middle. I like best of both worlds.
I found that it's like you got to go one day like that, and then the next day you just kind of like and then one day. But if you're but I'm like, all right, we got 5 days. We're doing 5 things. We're going to so many places. But if you just, I feel like it's a waste if you just like chill out. But you're saying your dad is like
my pop. So my pop is we're gonna go on vacation, but like I'm gonna kick it at the hotel.
Yeah,
we're in like fucking Yellowstone, right? Like right outside, like things like that. He's like, I'm cool. He'll still back us up.
Does that mean your mom is the one who has like?
My mom is the
planner.
My mom is the very like outdoorsman, very like let's go hiking.
That's cool.
Let's like in the cut. She's very athletic, very like.
Oh really?
That's my mom. My dad is the one like, y'all do what y'all want to do. If you guys want me to come, okay. But like,
I'll show up.
you guys let me know what the plan is.
No, I got to meet him at your party, and like I think your dad and your brother were just watching something. Your mom's like,
No, my mom is super bubbly and active and talking to people. And my pop is like, my pop is in the corner like watching boxing or something.
So would you say that the scheduling of things is like kind of one of the challenges of tour? Like, would you say because it's burned into you?
Going back into that, it's still work. So like you have like deadlines. You have to be at the venue by a certain time to load in, to have your sound checks, stuff like that. Settle with the venue, things like that. So scheduling is for sure. I think one of the runs, my actual manager, shout out Jazz.
Shout out Jazz.
There was manager too.
Well, I technically worked under her. Like
got it.
Yeah. But at that time for that art. So when I work with that artist, technically, that's the man. That's how that goes. But she like set up this, or not set up, but there was this app. I forget what it was called. Where basically I go in the morning, and I like build the itinerary for like the next 2 to 3 days. And every band member, musician, merch person, whatever, has access to this app, and they're able to see, okay, I have to be up by this time. Van call is at this time. If not, Josh is knocking on my door, shaking my bed or whatever, kicking me on if I'm sleeping on the ground that night. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's nifty. There's definitely a lot of accessible ways to organize things like that. I mean, I kind of just learned as I went, really. The first run I did, I was literally just playing drums and just kind of learned from that tour manager, just asking questions, ghosting, seeing, caspering. I don't know what you call that. Shadowing. I said ghosting. Yeah. Sorry guys, I didn't mean that one. But yeah, it's funny though, because I think that's really the only part of my life where I'm like, my personal life is very different. That's so fun. I think when it's work and you kind of like lock in a little bit differently. So.
And that's your work. You know, that's the work. That's fun. What's types of cuisine you eating on the road?
Oh, damn.
Gator.
How's that tour eating?
Black and Gator.
No, actually, when we were in NOLA, that was my first time doing that, I think. Highlights, there's a spot in Austin called Le Barbecue. Literally, like I thought at first, I was like, is that like LA barbecue? Because why would but it's like Le Barbecue. It's a counter at this like small grocery store. Grocery store is probably like the size of this apartment, like fully.
Crazy.
And this counter, I'm like somewhat upset because one of my friends went to Austin recently, and I was like, the only barbecue place you need to go to is this one, and he didn't go, and I was just like, but anyway, honestly, this is I won't say his name, but this is a indirect at, you know who you are.
Throwing Casper.
But that's probably my favorite barbecue from what I've tried. You got to go to that spot. People line up. I remember the last time I was there was with Dimitri, Michael, that team. We got there. The people from in front of us were like, we came from Boston. And we were lined up. Like, I think they opened at 11 and we got in line around like 9.
Like a few hours.
A couple hours. Like we were there. Because apparently the beef rib is like, it's right? Beef rib. And so we're talking to these, it's a couple from Boston, and really dope. They're like,
get in the car. Do not pursue.
And they're like, oh, what do you guys do? Why are you guys here? We're like, oh, we're on tour, we're playing music. And they're like, oh, it's dope. So we're in line for a couple of hours. And so we got to know each other. So we finally get to, dang, you guys heard all of that. They get to the counter before us, right? And in my mind, I'm like, beef rib, like I need every time. I think I had been there like 2 or 3 times prior to that time.
Oh, dang.
And I was just like, I want them to have beef ribs because I haven't tried them, and I hear they're amazing, right? Like people, like these MFs flew from the East Coast, like that type. And so they get to the counter, and I hear them ask for the beef rib, and they're like, I also hear the person at the counter tell him, "You got our last one."
Oh,
And I was like, "Fuck."
Just strangle one of them.
And I was
take
just like,
the
it's okay because everything else is still fantastic. Brisket's fantastic. The pork ribs are good. It's good. It's good. But I haven't tried the beef rib. Right?
yeah.
ask him for a bite. It's like so
I
big.
see them give him this
They're like,
massive rib, and the dude turns around and he goes, "This is for you guys. Cheers." Last rib. This dude flew all the way from Boston and gave us the last rib, and I was just like, I almost cried.
Heroes
Like,
were-
and it was a big ass rib, man.
I mean,
Like
you guys could probably split.
our mob was like, I think that team was like 10 to 15 people,
Dang.
and we all had some, and we all had a good amount of that rib.
Wow.
So that spot, there was a spot in Atlanta. I think it was just called Buckwheat Barbecue. Oh, Waffle House.
Waffle
Honorable
of
mention.
course. That's a
Throughout
good
the South,
food.
it's
I hear-
the best,
Really?
worst food you'll ever
Best
have of
roast
your
food?
life.
It's the highest low grade.
Yeah, it's
highest one.
the best, especially when you're like, you played a show and you get done. It's midnight, 1 a.m., 2 in the morning. You hit the hotel, and there was actually one time we were in Dallas, and literally it was across the street from the hotel.
Nice.
And I think Dallas was like 2-nighter, something like that.
Yeah.
So we're just going back and forth. That's an honorable mention. That's a gem. I fucking love Waffle House for all
There
of
we
you in the
go.
South. Buckwheat Barbecue, Atlanta. There was a spot in Chicago. I had the best Chicago dog of my life, and it's just that like I didn't get the name.
Had all the fixins though.
I had everything. The fries were fantastic.
Nice.
It was good. And to this day, I have a picture, and I think like it's like on Instagram, and I just put the like the Chicago location itself, like Chicago, USA,
Drop-
right? Versus the like
not the
spot.
Secrets.
And I'm just like,
But if you have a
fuck,
picture,
man.
you have a picture, you know, excuse me, have you seen this hot dog?
They're just like, yeah, right there on the corner.
It's
Dude.
like,
Like, what do you do?
yeah, just go there.
Walking
No,
around.
you're on a search. You're just
Yeah.
trying all the dogs. It's like,
There's a spot in El Paso.
oh,
I love wings. Excuse me. Sorry.
Yeah.
My bad.
Oh, you're
Good.
good.
it's those wings.
Yeah.
They're getting you.
From earlier. I had wings today, legit.
Yeah. He's like, you said wings?
Yeah.
Bruh.
You can ask any of my friends. I love wings.
Oh, right.
Especially like I love spicy food. So the
Okay.
spicier the wings, the better. So we're on another run. Michael Dimitri on that run as well. El Paso was like night 2, night 3. We get to the venue. I don't know much about El Paso. I think that was my first and only time ever playing El Paso. We get to the venue, load in, we do our sound check. It was cool because there was like a local opener, and then it was Royal Jag, who I was also playing drums for, and then it was Jasper Bones, who I was playing drums for.
Nice.
So it's cool because it was just like
Yeah, you had to play.
we were kind of like touring like as a family unit. It was really, that was probably one of the best tours I ever did. It was fun. It was all homies. You
Like
know?
2 sets
tight.
though. Like
I love that shit, dude.
that's crazy.
Yeah, I love that shit. I'm so down for shit like that. As long as I get a break, because there was one run where I was doing like 45 minutes to an hour sets, and like I would get off stage and be like,
So,
especially like high altitude places like Denver.
Oh, yeah.
I got to Denver, and
never
they had
thought about
oxygen
that.
masks. They
That's
had
crazy.
oxygen tanks. I'm sorry.
For
and
you guys.
and I kind of laughed. I was like, it's not that serious.
Yeah.
And then I get off stage, and I'm like, can I can I hit that real
Can I
quick?
get some of that LA air?
Exactly.
Dang.
But we're in El Paso, and we just asked the sound guy, we're like, what's good to eat around here? And he's like, there's a wing spot like right there.
These are wings.
And that's exactly the reaction. I was like, oh, you said wings?
These are-
And I think it was called like BAMS or something.
Bam.
I don't exactly remember, but you got into this place, and one, it was super affordable.
Nice.
It was super cheap. Like I remember we got like buckets of Modelo's, and Mike was a bartender at the time. I'm not sure if he still is, but he was, and he's like, dude, this would cost us so much more in LA. And I was like, well, yeah, that's fucking LA. You know?
Yep.
Like
But there was literally like the wingless. There was a pho wing. There was a ramen wing. There was a
Pho wing?
and they had like a special that day where it was like 20 cents a wing. So we literally
20 cents?
Yeah, we ordered like everyone got one of everything. And dude, you would try the pho wing, tasted like pho. You tried the ramen wing, tasted like ramen. You tried the mole. Everything tasted exactly like
That's
it said it
crazy.
would, and it was great.
Wow.
That is
that's wild.
on the record the best wing spot I've ever been to in my life. I think it's called Bam's. Bam's, El Paso, Texas.
Road trip.
Don't miss out.
Field trip.
Hey, I'm down. I do it just for that. I love doing food tours, man. I love doing food.
Yeah. First one, I thought you said like a faux wing. I thought it was like one of those like the
fake wing.
Tofurkey. Yeah, but like I didn't know it was like pho.
No, like pho, pho, like the
and then
soup.
ramen. I was like, they're making a wing out of ramen?
They had like chile de árbol wing, like they had like all these flavors, and it tasted like everything that it said. It was fantastic. Best wings. For sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they weren't pumped with like antibiotics and stuff like that.
Oh, they're like
regular size chicken wing. Yeah. So that's why we were able to get. I think we went through like 50 to 75 wings as a group.
Even though I could.
Yeah.
Like,
no, one time. This one's funny. Sad, but a little funny. I gotten broken up with. And
dang.
One time,
drown your sorrows.
like the week later, I pounded 30 wings in one sitting by myself.
Yeah.
It was like a Lakers versus Suns playoff game.
Oh.
I just remember being an honorable mention at the Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah.
Yes, the Buffalo Wild Wings. The B-dubs.
Crying in the buffalo
And it was like,
why are these wings so salty?
At the time they did buy one get one.
Oh, nice.
So if you ordered 15 wings, you got 30.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And you would just pay for 15.
Yeah.
So I got 15.
I was
wings.
living that Buffalo Wild.
Exactly. And I was just like,
paid.
and usually it's just like, okay, I'm going to go through like maybe 15 to 20
Yeah.
and take the rest home.
Yeah.
Like tomorrow.
Wing a little later.
You know what
wing
I'm saying?
now, wing later.
I'll get high.
Yeah.
I'll eat them at
Great
night.
snack.
What have you. Yeah.
Yep.
But no, I was so sad. So sad.
them all.
Self-loathing that I was like, you know what? I'm going to go through 30 wings.
You're
not allowed to leave.
Habanero.
My boy has a picture of me from that night. It's not great.
What kind of sauce did you get on them?
I like spicy. So I
Did
think
you get like wild?
at
or
that
like-
time I did wild and I did a mango. Right now my go-to if I'm going to B-dubs, I'm not going to lie, I love like basic food chains. Like I love going to Chili's.
Yeah, because you know what you're getting.
Yeah, exactly. I love going to B-dubs. I love Wingstop. Like I love things like that where it's just like quick, accessible. Here you go. But at the time that was mango habanero wild. Now spicy garlic wild. But best wings in LA, I'll look it up. I don't want to do it right now.
Yeah.
Best wings in LA are at a spot in NoHo. Spicy garlic. Next to a rehearsal space called Amped.
Okay.
I'll look it up. I'll give it to you guys. But those are the best like flavored wings I've had in LA. It's just like a bar. Fantastic drinks, fantastic beer, fantastic cocktails.
Nice.
But the wings took us by surprise. We go there whenever we rehearse at the space. We're like, hey, let's go tie one on. We go out. We go there. I think you can get like an option of like 10 to 20. We go in on 20 and just
That's
go to
dope.
town.
You got the iron gut, huh?
Yeah. Dude,
Okay, my mom is Mexican, fully Mexican. She makes salsa like for every meal.
Yeah.
And my mom loves like spicy.
Spice,
Nice.
Like
yeah.
spice.
Yeah. You get like you've been tempered.
No.
Your
like,
whole life.
like to my mom,
Yeah.
we're soft.
Oh.
Yeah.
She's
My mom is tough. My mom is tough. She's probably the toughest person I've met in my life. She'll do like the chip challenges, the hot ramen challenges,
way.
like all that, and she's like, "Oh, this is
One
good."
chip challenge.
She's like, "This," and we're like fucking sweating.
Yeah,
snot coming out of my nose. So yeah, get it from my mom, but I'm also not on my mom. My mom is just on another level. She's ridiculous.
Out of this world. Do you ever get nervous still before like going up to perform or to do shows or anything like that?
Yeah, 100%.
Is it deep anxiety? Like, do you feel like, or is it just like within like a regular amount or a consistent amount, or is it ever like, oh God, oh?
I have this irrational fear, and I think I have it all the time. That one day I'm just gonna forget how to play drums.
Oh shit!
And it happens even more so when I'm about to play a show. I'm just like,
wow.
I think I just forgot this entire catalog. What am I doing?
My fingers are hot dogs now.
But like, it also kind of helps me lock in. Kind of psych myself out a little bit on purpose.
Yeah.
I let that feeling and that emotion pass, and then literally the second I sit behind that kit, I'm like, I got this.
Yes.
I'm like,
That's
okay,
crazy.
like this is.
I do this.
I say this fully humbly, but yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I'm like, this is what I do.
Yeah.
You know.
That's dope.
So yeah, no, I mean, yeah, but no, I think the nerves however big or however, actually you get more nervous for smaller shows. There's less room for error. There's more like you can see everyone in the crowd.
Everyone's face.
When you're playing bigger venues, especially being the drummer, you're in the back. You see like the first 2 rows, and you can't see beyond that. So you're like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
The lights.
Yeah, you said the lights are blinding.
Yeah, the lights are somewhat blinding. I don't have great eyesight to begin with, anyway. So, but yeah, nerves still for sure. But I mean.
Manage them.
Yeah, you manage them, you get through, you power through, you play your set. And I mean, I think it's just like maybe like an athlete. I don't want to compare myself to LeBron James, but no, I'm just kidding. But no, yeah, I'm sure like big games, shit like that. I think it might be a similar thing.
Because like you're stepping up to a stage, you have a performance.
Yeah, no.
It's on you. And I think like almost for musicians is like, you can't fuck up. Athletes can fuck up. They'll turn over the ball, but then it's on to the next play.
You know what though? That's why playing with the same people is important. And that's why I try to, whenever I get pulled into an act or what have you, I always try, if they are kind of like, do you know a guitar player? Do you know a bassist? I always pull someone that I am familiar playing with.
Nice.
Because I know they know how I play. I know how they play.
Yeah.
And even if I do mess up or if they mess up, they're gonna cover me, or I'm gonna cover them, or we're gonna make it work. The only people that are gonna be able to tell that we messed up is us.
Yeah.
But like in that very same way, you're moving forward as a team, and also as a live musician. You're not there. You're there for the artist that hired you. You're not there for you. You're not there to shred. I mean, you can shred, but you're not there. You know.
Yeah.
You're okay. You're like, what is the music calling for? What is the artist calling for? So you, as a unit, especially, and that's why I play so often with Michael and Dimitri, because it's just like I've gotten to know these guys very well over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
I have other friends that what I like to say come off the bench that are my second phone call, what have you, or that were my first phone call, but they kind of bowed out a little bit. And then one thing leads to another, whatever. Yeah, I think it's important it's a team thing.
Yeah.
It really is a team thing. It's important. There's sometimes where I've been in rooms where I've played with people that are studied musicians, but we don't gel, and it doesn't to me, it doesn't sound as good as when I play with people that I know well, that I've been playing with for years.
Do you think it's personality sometimes that makes the gelling hard? You know, personality differences over skill, you know, or something?
Yeah, I think I've definitely been on a lot of runs where I've hated the person who hired me. And like sometimes I'll get along with the rest of the band. And that's cool. But like because we have this common hate for the artist, we still play well together, you know?
Fuck this guy.
But then there's other times, there's been other runs that I've done where it's just like, that's why that tour, the Howdy Boy 3000 tour was so cool, because those were all my friends. Those are people that I kick it with on my free time, you know? Like, but then there's other runs that I've done where it's just like, I met you last week. Or I met you at the beginning of the month.
Paycheck.
Exactly. And, you know, you play your show or you do your sound check and everyone goes and does their own thing. And you come back, you play your show ends, you load up, and then everyone goes and does their own thing again, which is okay. I mean, that's sometimes the job, whatever you want to call it.
There's not a lot of team building in those situations.
Exactly. But like those are the runs that you're just like, I can't wait to be home. There's no sense of like
just counting
morale, or sometimes you get close on the road. You know, you're like 2 weeks in and you're just like, hey, actually you're pretty cool. But you got to be willing to, you know, put yourself out there. I think there's signs and etiquettes of tour. You know, if you see someone reading a book or with their headphones in, it's just like, okay, you
leave them, because
you're constantly around people. So you kind of don't. That's another thing too. You kind of just like, sometimes you're like, dang, I really want solitude.
Me time.
I want to be on my, but you can't always, because one, you're on a stage every night playing to crowds, however big, however small. And then two, you're for 8 to 15 hours out of the day, you're in a confined space, whether that's a bus or a van, whatever, with the rest of the people. And while that's cool, sometimes if you do get along with each other, that's cool. But even when you do get along with friends, like sometimes you're just like, I kind of want time to myself. You know?
Need to go on a walk.
So you kind of have to pick up on those signs, you know, and understand this. I like when I was fresh, when I was green doing it, I didn't really know. It's like see someone with headphones and they'd be like, hey, what's up? And they just kind of be like, hey dude, like, can you like leave me alone?
Yeah.
Like,
International sign of
yeah,
get the fuck away from me.
like your nose is in a book or what have you, or like there's this joke that we have, at least the team that I'm used to being on the road with. So whoever's driving typically, which is almost always usually the tour manager, but from time to time they get tired, someone else will hop in. When you're driving, you're aux king, you control the music.
Yeah.
There's this joke that when people in the back aren't fucking with the music, like the person all the way in the last row would go, "Hey yo, can you fade that towards the front?" You're like, all right, fuck me. My music taste sucks.
Yeah. Hayden.
But like I said, it's all fun. It's cool. It's cool.
You learn to set boundaries. And
Just, you have such little space to yourself. You're like,
no, 100%.
because you're like constantly either with your band or talking to other people who are at the venue, and like you said, the crowd. You're like, it's a 24-hour gig, right?
Yeah, no, and that's what I try to explain to people oftentimes. It's just like, this is not a 40-hour work week. It's like constant. It's you're doing it all the time. And mind you, I haven't done it in a long time. September was the first time I did it in 2 years. And even when I did that one in 2020, it had been a minute since I've done it as well. But so it's just things you pick up, things that you kind of learn, understand, things like that. Yeah.
So what are some, you said like the pandemic gave you a chance to like reflect on things. Were you mostly like understanding like just, I don't know. I was going to say like the value of your time or what's important to you. Like
what were some of those things you picked up?
If you don't mind sharing.
I think priorities changed. I kind of realized I was getting older, and at the time when the pandemic happened, I was mostly doing music full time. I still had like a gig when I came back home, like a job when I came back home, but like it would allow me to. But then when the pandemic happened and music closed, venues closed, I had nothing. And I was just like, oh shit, how am I gonna pay my rent next month?
Yeah.
And so with that, I was just kind of like, it sucks. It really did suck. That era sucked because I was like, okay, Josh, it's time to grow up. Like you got to do this. It was cool. It's been fun. It's time to do something. Like you gotta figure something out. You gotta live. You know.
Yeah. Pivot.
So I think I became a very different person during that time. Almost unrecognizable. Like I was talking when I was talking with you guys when I got here. I was like, I shaved my head, like bleached it, and like it's just like, what is life? Like,
to change. Do it now.
No, and even just like a lot of the conversations I was having, and a lot of the, I think the pandemic affected all of us.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's not something that we were prepared for, or I don't know. I don't have the dictation for it right now, but it was just like, it was like, you're used to the world not stopping. It's really unfortunate because you lose loved ones, people die, you move on from relationships, you make new friends, you lose whatever.
It just keeps rolling.
And the world keeps going, right? You got to wake up tomorrow, you got to go to work, you got to do whatever, and the pandemic happens, just like every day was like, okay, what am I doing today? You know what I'm saying?
It's like you're facing everyone really faced themselves in that time, and then it's like you had to decide, like reflect on like what got you to this point, I guess, and your experiences is what it felt like, and then almost figuring out like who do you want to be moving forward. It's like everyone kind of seemed to have had some type of
what do I do
like
with this stress and these feelings?
I put together like a little studio at my apartment because I couldn't go to studios or anything like that. And a couple of my friends and I, we just send ideas back to each other, and we wrote this record. Not even a record. Why am I saying record? It's 3 songs. It's a 3-song EP. We called the project Daytime Television. It's just like a collective of like all my homies that I grew up with writing music, and all my homies that I made throughout the course of playing in LA, being on the road, stuff like that. We put together this 3-song EP. It's called It Goes On. It's called Daytime Television. It's been stuck and developed. I actually have to change it. So I had one. We had one song up, and someone hit me up, which kind of sucked. I don't mean to flex in this way, but like it kind of sucked because like they had the name Daytime Television, and the one song that was up that we did together as a collective had way more plays on SoundCloud than all of their stuff put together.
Yeah.
But they did have the name first. So the song got taken down from, it's still on SoundCloud. You can hear it on SoundCloud. It's called Soon Not Soon Enough. But it got taken down from like Spotify, Apple Music, like, all that.
So for the project name or the song, the track?
The project name. The song is called Soon Not Soon Enough. The project's called Daytime Television.
Aren't you allowed to do that though in music? I feel like so many people have.
I think you can,
I need to look into the
legality. You spell it differently, or like
that's what I've been looking into.
Just put a underslash in the front of it.
Yeah.
But like, dude, no, we're dot.
Well, like time was like a huge thing. So you see like the timer, you see like the, I don't know if that's a colon or a semicolon, but separated like daytime, semicolon or colon, whatever.
Yeah.
Television.
Yeah.
There's also daytime telly, daytime TV. There's so many
you just
things
like put a slash.
Daytime telly.
You know, because like I mean, like at this point in time, it's like you're always changing things. It's just like it's, or like when people have like the name on Instagram and they just add an underslash, like
something like that.
Sounds like
we'll figure it out.
It'd be a real shame if that other band were to have an accident.
Oh my gosh.
You're picking up what I'm putting down. I know how do we fix this
I don't
problem.
wish any type of malice.
I pitched a similar idea to like Dimitri, because like when they were doing like their Gomi Neko band, I was the one who pitched them that name. Because Adriana, when we were in Japan, she's like, "Oh, those are the Gomi Neko." I'm like, "What does that mean?" She's like, "Oh, they're like trash cats that just hang around."
I did not know that.
Right?
That's really cool.
So then I told that to like Michael, and he's like, "Oh, dude, I love that. I love the cats." And then that's how their like kind of band happened. But I pitched this idea to, I guess I pitched this to you guys too in the airport, but no one was listening.
Yeah.
like we're not gonna listen to the musically not inclined person, you know. Like plus it's like a whole nother project.
Man,
but I was
sorry
like,
for making you feel like that.
No. It was like you guys are talking about all your projects. I was like, oh, I got this cool project too. That's nice, Kevin. Let's
Kevin's
put it on.
talking. He just like turns the volume of the
Damn, I feel
headphones
like a
up
dick
while he's
now.
talking. Like,
Let's put it on the refrigerator right there. I felt like the Ringo Starr of the group.
Oh man,
He's not even the best drummer of the Beatles. But like no, I was pitching this to like Dimitri. It's like oh, like, you know, like if you just have like if he's like a radio host, and then it's just like a thing where it's like basically you can have different genres and different kind of like plays.
That's cool.
In it, you know, that's like I was thinking about like daytime TV, because like daytime television, like there's somewhat, you have like your soap operas and your other things, and like your game shows and all this
You can do a lot with it,
yeah, you know, it's because it's like a concept,
right?
Yeah.
It's an overall broad concept, rather than like, I guess, like, you know, just like, oh, my name, my album. But like,
Right.
it's
You could do
like,
a lot with it.
yeah, but when I think about daytime TV, I think about me being sick,
Yeah.
That's exactly
Yeah.
where that
eating
came
cereal,
from.
at home.
you know, at home.
Yeah, watching Jerry Springer.
Watching Larry H. Parker fight for you.
There was a show called Dharma and Greg. I don't know. If
Oh, yeah.
That came out. I don't know if it was like supposed to come out in the evening at the time, or maybe it had finished at the time. But I remember watching that during the day a lot.
Wasn't like Greg like one of like the first like homosexuals? Like it's like that.
Was it? I never saw it through.
Oh no, that's Will and
and
Grace.
Grace,
That's Will and Grace.
Yeah.
Where he's just like very like. I was like, why is this show so entertaining to people? I never understood it. I was like, oh, because at the time it's like they wanted to allude to it, but you didn't know, you know.
He's like a gay.
Well, I mean, like that was like in the 90s. So like, it's like,
Yeah, they're trendsetting.
so Dharma and Greg. What's
Dharma
that?
and Greg, Jerry Springer, Mari. Things like
Mari,
that.
Yeah.
or like the People's Court.
Yeah, things like
Judge
that.
Judy.
Judge Judy.
Yeah.
Dude,
Watch a lot of Spanish, Mexicans.
We
like
should sue
Caso
you.
Cerrado, shit like that.
we should sue each other on the People's Court.
You're not down.
Dude, I'm down. I'll
find some absurd
I will fucking
reason.
sue the shit out of you, man.
Please.
Dude, you're
Was that you who told us
Yeah.
that like there's like this guy, this group
This
of
guy,
friends would just
So the premise behind it is this guy basically takes people to court, right? And the thing about People's Court and stuff is you go on TV and they pay for that. They pay like if I sue you for like 10 grand worth of damages, the People's Court pays me, and then nothing gets really filed. It's just for entertainment. But then the ruse is that we'll split it and we'll both get 5 grand.
That's kind of cool. I honestly always wondered how those work because obviously they're like staged to an extent. I wonder if like any of this is serious. No, it's just like for entertainment.
But that's what I mean. They're paying you off for entertainment purposes.
Right.
You know, and we'd be the most absurd because we just like, but like the point is like, maybe I don't know, or whatever. It's like this is not my idea, but the fact that this guy brought it up, he's like, yeah, I've sued my friend for like, you know, not delivering on like, you know, like a construction in my house or like some stuff like that, or just, you know, me or like if I mean, like
Kevin invited me to this podcast and he said he was going to pay me, but I never saw it done. Or something like that.
I was like, yeah.
I talked about my personal life.
This guy said he was going to come over and fix my like, you know, my like refrigeration unit, and he just did it. It was worse. It was worse. And I was like, no, man, dude, I just add the part, and like at least because
we're in on it.
Well, like you don't know this about Josh, but I learned this too. Is like he's an engineer as well. Nice. So like there's like the science background. We just be riffing off like science stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like,
catalytic converter.
Like, no, man. The flux capacitor does not work.
Exactly.
All right. I tried pushing my DeLorean 88 miles and didn't go. I crashed through a curb.
And it's just an inside job the entire time. I love that actually. That kind of feels like a heist. And I love a heist. I love a good heist.
Yeah. It's a ruse. Which is what we'll find all the daytime TV ones. And then you can use the snippets of us arguing on the TV.
Yeah. That'd be dope. I'm fucking down. Yeah, you let me know the time and the place.
We'll go to Chicago. WGN. You know, and we'll do it there.
That's dope. Is there anything?
What's up?
Any like maybe topic or just like maybe a thought that's been on your mind? Maybe anything that's kind of interesting. You do your thing, and then that'll be my wrap up. And then we'll go to entertainment.
While you think about that, before we started this pod, we were talking about how like competitive the music industry has gotten once streaming became so big, and I thought that was an interesting topic to discuss. Just how, you know, you're talking about how like back in the day, like in the 90s, these local bands were able to, you know,
you had to start within your community. Versus now you move to LA, you know?
Yeah. So what insight could you give us from your perspective on just how the industry's changed, or just how the nature, the landscape has changed, I guess?
Dude, that's dense, but yeah, we're going to talk about that. Okay. Let's do it. So when I was growing up and when I wanted to do music, it makes me sound so old, but I'm not that old.
But a lot has happened in our lifetime.
Well, yeah, within like the last 10-year window, so much has happened.
Yeah.
When I was listening to hardcore and alternative and Under Oath and Paramore and The Almost and Devil Wears Prada, all this. We had I wouldn't want to see because I wasn't even part of that scene, but like we were familiar with the 2-year record cycle. You would record your record, you tour it for about a year and a half, you'd come home for about a month or two, and you hop in the studio, you'd record the new record for 2-3 months, and you do like your press, whatever industry, and then you'd go on tour again for another year and a half, come home, and that was it. So you were getting a full record, anywhere from 10 to 15, sometimes, I mean, your Red Hot Chili Peppers, 20-25 songs, and you'd get a tour every 2 years. You got a new record. So that's what I was familiar with, and that's what I was like, yo, that's cool. So breaking into the industry, I guess, streaming happened. And streaming was cool and is cool, don't get me wrong, but it has its good sides and its bad sides, because it's now anyone can release music. You know, you could buy a little interface and track in your bedroom, which is how a lot of artists are making it these days, which is dope. But there's also an oversaturation. And there's also like you can't wait unless you're someone with a name already or you've paid those dues. You can't wait 2 years to release a record.
That's true.
Because not even just with music and streaming, but like with social media and TV shows. And exactly. Fantastic word, content. We digest at such a quick rate now that if you're not dropping one song or an EP, that's why me personally, like, I don't feel like we have fully complete projects. You get one single, a three track EP every couple months. But if you're not doing that every couple months, you get lost, you fall off.
Yeah.
You know,
It's trippy.
unless you're someone like Paramore just came back after 5 years, but that's fucking Paramore.
Yeah.
You know, that you can do that.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
Adele can do that. Beyonce can do that. Arctic Monkeys can do that.
Yeah.
Phoenix can do that. All those bands can do that. But now if you're trying to, we were literally having the conversation before we started rolling. Now if you're trying to break through the scene, you got to move to LA.
Yeah.
You know, you think about like Fall Out Boy that made it within the community in Chicago. You have Under Oath that made it within their community in Clearwater, Norma Jean, bands like that. It started on the ground, you know, which now it's just like, okay, I gotta move to LA. I gotta have a TikTok. Which that's no shade whatsoever, but it's just different. The landscape is so different.
High intensity.
It's
like
interesting that
And
you
it
say
affects the quality of work. It affects your content a lot because now you don't have the 2-3 month 4 month window, or sometimes even like you listen some of Beyonce's records. She worked Kevin Parker. Let's go back to Tame Impala. This isn't because I know this one for a fact. I don't just want to speak out of my ass, but Kevin Parker, I think one of the drum samples or one of the drum beats on his last record, which is a fantastic record, took him years to perfect.
What?
And now a kid can just sample that in like 15 seconds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like this is years of hard work and mixing and producing that it took him. So I think that like this media just like push it out it does affect the content. It affects the quality. But like obviously Kevin Parker has earned those stripes and can do shit like that. But like I don't know, the smaller, more street level, I guess. I don't know.
It's a grind.
They got it figured out. They got to do it quick, because if not, then you know, you went 2-3 years without putting a record. You put on an EP. Like,
well, I mean, like nowadays, it's like we live in what they dub as the data era. So things move at the speed of like data, and you think about that, like everything's like a 60-second TikTok of life attention span. So everyone just doesn't have the attention span to like
100%.
like wait for things, you know? It was funny because I was watching this Lil Wayne interview where they talked to him and they're like, hey, how long does it take you to come up with like your rhymes? Because he doesn't write anything down. He's like 2 months. He's like, what? They're like, why so long? He's like, well, I gotta think about everything I've already said and try not to like repeat it. But even him, he's like, he understands like, you know, that it takes a lot of time to craft it. I mean, Isaiah Rashad said it took him like a couple months to put out like some of his songs, but like it takes a little bit of effort. And I like the fact that you use like, you know, starting on the ground, because what I feel is like the data era, everyone's in the cloud, you know?
wow, that's
So like
really good actually.
So everyone's just kind of like, I need to put shit out, but it's not perfected, you know? So like I just went to this a Mocha exhibit, and we got to talking to to John Sasaki, who's like my friend's husband, and then this other lady named, I think it's Kim Tucker. She's like a really well-known like porcelain ceramics artist.
Right.
And they were talking about something called unskilled or de-skilled craftsmanship. And it's where the fact that people don't learn the fundamentals and the foundation of stuff. Right. So they reach a part where like they can't progress any further because all their basics are shit. Right. You know, and then with pottery, it's like spinning and molding, and you know, next thing you know, you're only making cups and bowls. You know, you can't like excel from there because you don't understand the other aspects of the craft. And then that's also kind of what you're talking about, is like, you know, a lot like it's like listening to Amigos album. You know, I'm like, this is 12 songs of the same stuff. And I'm like, I mean, props to them, but it's just like, it's frustrating when you listen to like, you can't be, you know, Tom Haverford and always just have bangers. Yeah. You know, you gotta kind of like figure out the pocket and then really craft, because 100%. With Kevin Parker, he's just fucking amazing. You know, him and Pond and just like fucking doing that whole thing. The fact, like, so are the fact that for those who haven't listened to Tame Impala, Kevin Parker does everything.
Yeah, when he records, he does everything.
He's like,
I think the first record, his brother played drums, but I think outside of that, every other record he's done drums, and then even on that first record, everything but drums.
Yeah.
He did.
But like, it's like taking the template from like Dave Grohl.
Oh, yeah.
When he made the first album for Foo Fighters, he just put Foo Fighters as like a placeholder. And he's like, yeah, I would have named it something better had I known it was going to take off like this. But then he hired all like, you know, like live musicians to like do all those other things. But the fact that you can play and do all those things to like perfect, you know, your outlet, as you said before, with learning guitar helped you with your rhythmic you know, sensibility in terms of like drumming. Like, there's people who are just like, oh, I'm just constantly learning a new instrument, just like kind of like, you know, developing. But yeah, I'd say like, you know, the turnaround time for some artists is just too short. Like, oh yeah, you know,
Or you
get
have
it out there.
deadlines now.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you think that the expectation for artists now too is to like share their lives more? Like you can't just be someone that, well, I mean, maybe
Make
you
music
can.
and drop and
Yeah, like, you know, the fans or the audience, they have like these expectations of wanting to know like everything about artists now, like expecting them to like share as much, you know, much as possible.
I think that landscape is changing a little bit. I think it kind of feeds in the same way where like you gotta kind of earn your stripes in that sense. If you do want to, like, if you do value your privacy a little bit more, like you look at like Beyonce, you look at Kendrick Lamar, like they're fantastic artists, fantastic musicians, but we don't know much about their personal life, and we're kind of just okay with that because of what they've accomplished.
But
I think in other realms, I think you do have to kind of, and that's why like the big thing right now, like if you're trying to do music, they're like, all right, what's your pull on TikTok? I don't even fucking have TikTok. You know? Which is okay. Like I said, I'm not throwing shade at that in the slightest, but it's just like, the landscape is different just depending on the era that you came from while that was happening. I think it is kind of changing now though, just because I don't have Be Real, but I think the concept of Be Real is really cool because it's just like, okay, what are you doing right now? You know, like no like flexing, no like what is your like, because in certain mediums, like we only post what we want people to see.
It's like a branding platform.
And then Be Real is just like, what are you doing in this moment? And then people can tell like, oh, you posted like 5 hours later. You know? Which I think is really cool. I think it's really cool. I think
it is.
Yeah, it's a new app. My friend was trying to get me on there, but I'm just like, I manage like a lot of pages on multiple platforms anyways, but basically you want to explain it? Are you familiar with it?
I'm not full. I don't have it, so I'm not.
Basically,
that's basically what I know. What I just said.
I think like it's like how Instagram used to be, where people just shared.
Where it's
but it does
instant,
things
not like latergram.
And I think it does things like remind you to like, hey, like share what you're doing right now or something. And I think it does things to encourage you to share like wherever you're at,
like at that moment.
I'm depressed and in bed.
Wow,
I'm on the
like, hey, I'm at work. Like I don't club 20 for like, because like what you can curate on Instagram now, you know, like post just your weekend life or just like take pictures from the weekend and post it on like Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? Like, which Be Real, I think, like you said, gives you that notification. And then you like you post right at that moment, and people know you post right at that moment. Or if you don't post right at that moment, you post 5-6 hours later, people will also know that you posted 5-6 hours later.
You're not participating.
Exactly, like you're not being real. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's cool. I think that's pretty nifty.
I think like what is it like in this day and age, specifically with the rise of like mental health awareness and stuff like that. Shouts to Matthew Yonemura.
Yes.
It's like the idea that it's okay to be vulnerable.
100%.
Because so here, let me use a food analogy. In terms of like developing food like beef and chicken and stuff like that, we basically mass produced it to be like this perfect form. It's like big, juicy, like, you know, whatever cut, right? But ultimately then it's like, oh, this is like all processed and kind of fake and whatnot and stuff like that. Now we need to go back to like organic. Same thing with like models and Victoria's Secret models. Now it's like, oh, plus size women, people who have like freckles, you know, imperfections and stuff like that. Same thing. Like I think overall it's being genuine is a better pull for people. You know, like nowadays, dude, for lack of better terms, you got ugly people on like movies and like TV shows.
You got the uggos out here.
Yo,
no one is
the uggos, the dropped waffles.
Something forever.
You know?
Oh my God.
Right? Like it's just like, no, but I'm saying like not everyone has to be, you know, Tom Cruise or
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. I'm
you
just
know, like
busting your balls.
what is it?
uggos.
No, I mean,
Our
I'm
society
serious. Like
went through like a crazy phase of pushing for perfection
in the
and we're
early 2000s, 2010s, it was like,
No, that even
Boom.
affected us as
Yeah.
kids growing up. Like, for
exactly,
me,
yeah,
and especially all of us here at POC, which is great.
yeah.
But like for me growing up, I grew up in Garden Grove, Orange County, that area. Like I had to strive to be white. That's what I saw.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I had to, and I don't say this disrespectfully, but like I had to want to date white women. I had to want to,
Yeah.
Sure.
have like this Anglo life, I guess.
Yeah, the Caucasian.
Yeah, exactly.
White
Yeah, and
life.
then just kind of when the recent like Chicano movement started coming up, like artists like Kuko
right.
and
Shout
things
out
like that. It's just
Kuko.
like actually shout out Kuko, like mad respect for that dude. Honestly, he's just fully himself, honest to himself, his culture, just genuine. But like when things like that started happening, the people like Kuko, August Eve, Jasper Bones, and these kids started coming up, just like oh shit,
Yeah. Well,
it's cool.
Isn't it trippy?
Yeah, it's like
about-
now everyone wants to be like
Cool to
us,
be
you know what I'm
brown.
saying?
Yeah, right.
like I mean, I don't have as much of a finger on the pulse of like Hispanic like culture as this moment, but like think about Bad Bunny being like one of the biggest artists.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
having
Grammy
like
nominated.
full on songs in Spanish. Like dude, like even J-Lo didn't have full on songs in Spanish. I don't even know if Selena did. Selena
Hollywood, like
Selena did. Selena started just fully Spanish.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
became.
See, but that's what I'm saying. She had to placate to you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
you know the taste of modern man.
Yeah.
You know, or like to like modern music. You know, it's like why there's a General Tso's chicken, orange chicken. You know, it's like all that. But would you say there's like a nice renaissance of being genuine in like the Hispanic?
100%. That's why.
Cool.
That's why I do. So for me, I just kind of don't. I don't have anything personal against TikTok. I don't have anything personal against Be Real. Nothing like that. It's just like I don't need another social media hole to fall through. You know,
Just
like
to
that's just me. That's just my personal thing. I've kind of been finding a little bit more comfort in like
Being an
not putting that much out there. You know, just kind of
You gotta be Steve mysterious.
just exactly
You know?
living my life and not always people knowing how I'm moving. That's just me. That's just personal to me.
Yeah.
But I think it is cool. I think it is cool with, especially with. I can't speak too much for TikTok because I haven't spent too much time there. But like that platform with Be Real, just like, hey man,
Yeah.
just do what you do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like Duolingo though. It's like I want to post what I'm doing right now though.
Yeah.
It's like,
No, which and there's also that
bugging
option. Like
Yeah.
you can go that day without posting.
Yeah.
You know,
Nice.
and it's
Yeah.
just like okay,
There's probably a person who's
you
just
chose to do that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
like, Be Real's like their only friend. It's like, oh, okay, I'll post. What am I doing?
Do you guys want to talk about content and entertainment,
Oh,
or
yeah.
are there any?
Oh yeah. Did you or any final
Yeah.
thoughts that you had that you wanted to talk about?
Well,
Like
So like you know anything like I had a random thought like, oh, isn't it interesting that
What do you
like,
want the people to know?
Oh.
Sorry.
or things that you just thought about that
Like, or things that have been like on your mind, you know?
On my mind,
What's been tickling your cranium? The gray matter.
I think I just been so busy that I can't really. I
It's all good.
wouldn't necessarily slow down, but I think from the gist of this conversation, it's just like good things take time.
Yeah.
Oh, go.
Say that again because I was kind of far from
Real.
like, good things take time.
Mm-hmm.
Take your time. Take the time that you need. Not. So I've been following this dude, and this is
Like physically following him?
this is no that
Stalking him.
would be
Stalking him.
weird.
Stalking him.
No, I only follow him on the social, so it's not that weird. No, his name is Still Cracker Official. He's this cook. No, I swear to God, look him up. Still Cracker Official. He's my boy. I'm pretty sure he's from the South.
Yeah, he's
Somewhat.
cooking, right?
That's funny.
He's
I like
somewhat,
that.
but that's where I got the whole gator thing. Like
He's making
he
this
cooks gator,
gumbo
like
and shit.
he makes
I seen
gumbo.
him.
Like,
What?
yeah, you seen him, right?
Yeah.
No
he's-
way.
He's
So
tight.
you watch his videos.
Still
And this is something that I kind of just applied. It's so simple, but I just have kind of applied it to my life because he's doing these videos and he's cooking in certain ways, and he'll go, add whatever seasoning you like add whatever cheese you like stuff like that. I'm just like, I gotta do what I like.
Yeah.
What's making me happy.
Yeah.
But like it's, well, at the end of the day, for the better sake of the example, when I eat this dish, like I have to enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which is like sometimes, okay, you gotta, especially being an artist or what have you, you got to cater to your audience sometimes, but like at the same time, it's just like make sure you're putting out things that you would listen to.
For you,
like the Childish Gambino stand up where he says like he'll go on dates and like he'll like listen to like he would listen to like his demos on the car rides or stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, you listen to your own music? And he'd be like, fuck yeah, I listen to my own music. Like one, to put things into perspective, touch up, whatever. But also like I gotta fuck with what I'm putting making out. You know? Like, and that's exactly. Put whatever great. Seasoning you like.
That's dope.
Nice. I've been reading like a lot of like self-help books and stuff like that. And like one of the things that they always touch on is just like we just gotta like do more things for ourselves, like listen to like our needs, our wants. It's okay to do listen that.
To your body, your mind.
It's just crazy how much we give to others, or like how our like whatever it may be, insecurities or whatever it is, can get in the way of us like doing things for ourselves that we want or need. And so like you saying that, it's just I feel like I'm getting that message a lot more, and a lot of people I'm like talking with and having conversations with are like on that same, you know, path of just understanding that concept. And it's crazy, it's so simple of a thing, but our lives really can pull you so far from your own source, you know, of life. Like it's pretty trippy.
Love that for you. Easier said than done always, but like action. I think one thing that on the topic, actually, this has been the big thing for me, and a lot of conversations that I've had with close friends. It's like, say it or write it down. Make it tangible. It helps. Because you keep it in your head, it's gonna go everywhere. It builds up, it bounces back and forth. But say it out loud. Have a conversation, even if it's just with yourself in the mirror. Say it out loud or write it down. Journal, or just like, I cannot tell you how many times I've been going through something, I had a thought in my head, and I literally just speak it, and I'm like, it helps me put it into perspective so much better.
And it makes it more clear because you're putting it out, you're 100%. Making it a real thing.
You're pulling it from the cloud.
I forget where I read this technique, but it's like if you say, or if you think about something, or if you want to say an insult or someone, or if you want to insult the person or say something mean about a person, you write it down and then you burn it. And then it kind of like is
and then burn them.
Well, no, it's
witchcraft. And then you light their house on fire with the paper.
Well, I mean, local news has shown that Quentin Palmer is now under arrest for arson.
It's like Death Note.
You know, you thought you were safe, Al.
I can see how that could work though. Like just freeing, like
you're a bitch.
No, but I mean, it's like manifesting. It's also like fire is also fun. So it's just like, but like it kind of like completes that. It's like I said it, I put it out there. But then I'm also erasing it, so don't find it. You know, because I mean, like, hate. I always worry about that. I'm like, I don't want a journal that just has all my inner deep dark thoughts.
Someone could just find it.
That's really. Oh, sorry.
Oh no.
They say journaling is like it's like a mirror, or mirrors your like consciousness or something like that. So it's like it tells you what your consciousness is.
It's very therapeutic, and I recommend doing it if you're feeling. If you catch the urge, whenever you catch the urge to write whatever you feel. Doesn't even need to be whenever you're tense or anxious. Sometimes maybe if you just got a thought and it's like, fuck it, I'm gonna write it, and then just do that and then build a habit. It's helpful. Very sage advice. Thank you. And thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
Thanks for having me.
And your experience. We are going to talk about some content. Check this out.
Wait, there's more.
So, man.
Where are you gonna start?
Woman.
Y'all heard about this new Rush Hour 4 coming?
Oh yeah, people are geeking
You heard
out
about this new
it.
Rush Hour 4? I'm like
Excited or what?
I don't.
Indifferent?
I liked Rush Hour 3.
I thought it was fun. I just rewatched it.
Fun.
The first half is way stronger than the second half.
Definitely.
But there is also
the girl's head.
The news was making rounds that Rush Hour 4 was in the works, and the main thing that people were being vocal about was it needs to retain some of that
90s
wonderfully ignorant comedy, that purposefully ignorant comedy, because they are wildin' in Rush Hour. I actually have a clip from Rush Hour 3 I would like to play, and you just couldn't get away with it today. But I would love if they did.
Rush Hour 3 was like kind of recent, dude. It was like what, 2009, 2010.
They gotta push it.
Yeah, Rush Hour 3 was like 09, 10.
Yeah, dude, Rush Hour 1 was like...
That was late 90s, like 99, and then 2 was like 2001, 2002.
Yeah, check out this recent this clip from Rush Hour 3. And just to set it up, you know, Chris Tucker and, you know, Brother Jackie, I forget their names. Agent Kata. They're like, Kata. Is that my gun? What is my gun? Lee. Kata. Lee. They're like looking for a suspect in China, and so they end up inside this dojo. And this scene ensues. Legendary.
May I help you?
We'll be asking the questions, old man. Who are you?
You.
No, not me, you.
Yes, I am you.
Just answer the damn questions. Who are you?
I have told you.
Are you deaf?
No, you is blind.
I'm not blind, you blind.
That is what I just said.
You just said what?
I did not say what. I said you.
That's what I'm asking you.
And you is answering.
Shut up. You.
Yes?
Not you, him. What's your name?
Me.
Yes, you.
I am me. He's me. And I'm you.
And I'm about to whoop your old ass, man, because I'm sick of playing games. You, me, everybody's ass around here. Him, I'm gonna kick his ass. I'm sick of this.
Legendary. Even in the first like 2 movies, just a lot of crazy scenes and dialogue happens. I like when the first movie he visited his cousin who runs the Chinese restaurant.
Literally about to bring that up. The pool bar scene.
You know? Yeah.
Well, yeah, like what is it? Are you saying the pool boy, or are you talking about
the pool when they're flying
up to the pool bar and then they go to the back.
And he was like, "Hey, he's like, what you smoking on?" He was like, "Just a cigarette, man." He's like, "Nigga, that's cigarette weed."
Yeah. You know, what is it? Like the second Rush Hour. That's where Kendrick Lamar got Kung Fu Kenny.
Oh yeah, that's
because Don Cheadle is his cousin Kenny.
Yeah,
and he's like running a gambling ring in the back of like. So he's like, come into my establishment.
Rush Hour 1, Rush Hour 2,
and then he's like wearing like the get up.
That's fun. I think if they can retain some of that, you know, fuck it energy.
I mean,
it would be
I
great.
think those scenes teach us a lot about culture and where you're from.
Yeah.
I think they take it satirically.
Yeah.
I think it was okay.
Yeah.
I grew up on these movies. You may disagree with me, and that's okay. But like even in that scene leading up to when he's like, "Cig weed," you know, Chris Tucker's character tells Jackie Chan's character, he says, "Follow my lead."
Yeah.
So that's why he's doing the things that he's saying and saying the things that he's saying. You know, so it has to be contextual, and it's just exactly like it kind of shows us a lot about like cultural boundaries sometimes, like our lack of insight into certain societies and things like that. So
my favorite is like what is this? Camel's hump. Like y'all ain't got no hot sauce?
Yeah.
Hey, no hot sauce, you punk bitch. I ain't no punk bitch. I ain't no punk bitch either.
it's like, actually, this is kind of good.
Yeah, it's kind of good.
Yeah.
How's your Camel's hump? That place is right down the block.
Yeah,
crazy.
It is. So I don't know. We'll see when that one comes out. I don't even know too much more news on it. But
where's it gonna be?
Good question.
Yeah, because like, it's always
LA,
specific to location.
The other one was like Hong Kong. The third one was like in France. You know, like it's and I imagine
Miami. Miami, baby.
So he's the guy who was telling us to do the Miami thing. That's why they went to Miami, and I was like,
word sick.
Record thing. So the inside because now we've got 2 groups called Miami.
Yeah,
and basically it's just like only in Miami. Like, dude,
only in Miami.
Dude, did you see that? That gator sausage, like, thing that I said? Yeah, I was like, shrimp, like cheesecake, like only in Miami,
baby.
It's funny.
That's funny. That actually stemmed from the road. I remember just being on the road and being so oblivious to where I was at. I'm not gonna lie, like that's where that joke came from. But it didn't really land. You know, like everyone was like, Josh,
tired.
Yeah, everyone's like, Josh, stop being fucking stupid. You know, and I was like, whatever.
It didn't land, but
I'd be in Chicago and I'd be like, Miami, baby. Not even Miami, baby, because Michael coined the term Miami, baby, while we were in New Orleans. And then Matt Sutton, shout out Matt. He was the one that was just like, only in Miami, baby. Anyway, so I was doing that joke years ago. It wasn't landing. I was just being obnoxious. And then I was my little sister turned 21. What do you want to do? She's like, I want to go to New York. So we went to New York. And just like super impromptu, I brought it back. And my little sister's on TikTok and she's on all that stuff. And so I'd been there before and I was like, okay, we're going to do all the like dope shit. The first couple days, and then the last day I'll take you to do all the tourist shit. We'll go to Times Square, we'll go to Central Park, we'll do all that. She's like, dope. So last day comes, we're on the train with a good friend of mine, and we get off the train and we go up the stairs, and I didn't know she was recording. And I'm like walking up the stairs and I go, here we are. And I turn around and I like spread my arms. I'm like, Miami. And she starts dying. Little did I know, she posted on TikTok, and apparently her friends were like, dude, this is the funniest thing in the world.
Are you a viral sensation?
I don't know if it went viral, but I think just her friends loved it. And so we just kind of played off of it. And then, so that was in July. September, we were on the road again. And that was the joke. You know, we were in Frisco, wherever we were just like, Miami. And then we went to New Orleans, and we were like, there's legit videos of us like, we'll be like, welcome to New Orleans, and then we pan to like Michael or Matt, and it's just like Miami. So that's where that comes from.
That's funny.
He kind of has a little thing he does, is like Cancun.
There we go. Like, just shit like that, you know? Just like, it's funny, dude.
Spring break.
Wherever we are.
Like you're well
traveled. Like, bro, it's Christmas.
Like it's fun to be ignorant.
Cancun.
Just like not you know.
No, for real.
That's great.
I have a friend that's what he says whenever we party or we're gonna go hard. He's like, we're about to get ignorant. And I'm like, that's all right. I like that.
All right,
let's do it.
Cool. So you guys,
what's up?
You guys been watching anything else? You guys any other?
I finished that White Lotus.
Oh yeah,
I've heard good things about that.
She's been hyped on it.
I think you'd like it. Like the first one's in Hawaii, the second one's in Sicily.
It's like self-contained.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So you like it because
I would
it's
like
overarching.
it. Yeah. One solid last episode resolve.
Yep. Each season starts with a death, and you don't know.
Yeah, you don't know who it is.
Is it like murder mystery?
Kind of, in a weird way.
Dude,
Who done it?
I would love that.
Yeah.
I need to catch on.
It's kind of like I don't know if it's like it's just a it's parallel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or it's all sequential, but like it shows you a body in the beginning, and then you don't know, but it's just like, oh, someone's gonna die. Like, who's gonna die?
So you know that, but it's not really like figuring out. Yeah. But so the second season they shot it in Italy. And
Miami.
it's super beautiful.
Miami.
Miami, Italy.
Audrey Plaza's in there.
Oh, I love her.
Yeah, she's
Theo
fun.
Jones, Chris from Sopranos.
Oh yeah.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
Chrissy.
Dude, you should see how old he is.
Yeah, he has the gray hair. Still has a fantastic hairline.
Yeah.
I think I've probably seen scenes from just picture. I don't know.
It's good. The finale just happened, and I was like, when it ended, I was just like, that was great. Like, I just enjoyed that season all the way through, and I was like, the ending I was happy with.
Fantastic.
I felt like this one was much more elaborate.
Yeah.
But like the interweaving of like storylines was so like gripping versus like the first one was like it was playing more towards like you didn't know like who's like it's pretty linear.
Yeah.
You know, but like this one it was like
they all
to the
like,
very end you're
interact.
like, where's it going?
Yeah.
Word.
So that happened super good.
What would you rate it now that you finished it? We'll talk about it more when I catch
season?
up. But what are you rating
This season was like
two?
an 8.5, 9.
That's what I said. That's exactly what I said to Kira.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it's like it's not full perfection, but it has its funny moments. It has its like its characters are really well done.
Yeah.
You know, like I mean, like, just they're all believable. I mean, dude, the scenic shots are crazy.
So nice.
All right.
You
Okay.
know?
I love Sheila.
Jennifer Coolidge is in it.
Yeah.
The bend and snap lady from Stifler's mom.
Oh, she's so.
Oh, word.
We're down with
For real?
Yes.
Dang, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's so fun.
I feel like I haven't seen her in anything in forever.
She's funny because she plays like this like really rich,
Stifler's
helpless
mom.
lady. She's like, is my husband cheating on me? And she's like so like worried about herself.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't done this in a
Her
while.
character is just so entertaining.
And she's like such a helpless old lady.
You know what's so funny is that you said the name and I was like,
Yeah.
and then you were like Stifler's mom and I was like, oh
yeah. I saw your expression. I'm like, that didn't land.
yeah no 100%.
Legally Blonde didn't land. Stifler's mom. Done.
Yeah, I was
Done.
like, oh,
okay.
Josh, pretend to know.
Yeah, you know, I'm like, have you seen I don't even know what Legally Blonde would be.
I don't
It's like a female comedy,
Yeah.
right? But like American Pie is just, you know, what's up?
I also saw the Chris Hemsworth
I heard that was
show.
like great, but also not sad.
Yeah.
sad.
It's an interesting tone to it. I think I was like partially watching it, but the first episode, he like has to like, I don't remember which building it was, but some really, really tall building, he has to like walk a plank, and they do these things to like, they try and give him tools to like deal with stress, and they, you know, like it's like a teachable type of
Focus
show.
on your breathing. He's like on the tip of like a fucking skyscraper. Like
So they do
Damn.
like a VR thing. They put him on a VR, and he's like freaking out doing that. Another thing is like, what else? Oh, he's like, he has to get in the pool. His hands and his feet are tied, and he has to like jump up to the surface for air like 20 times and like touch the bottom. So like without panicking and stuff. And there's like people there to like watch him and everything. I don't know. I was like, dang, he's really doing some like crazy stuff. But anyways, I just checked that out. That was pretty interesting.
I heard that. So he did Thor: Love and Thunder. Which you feel about that movie however you feel about that movie.
Yeah.
We don't have to get into that.
Yeah.
Or we can. But anyway, I heard that they like Marvel read or went through whatever he was supposed to go through for that show. And we're like, absolutely not. You're filming Thor: Love and Thunder first because you might die doing this.
Yeah.
And you're already contractually obliged to do this movie.
Yeah.
So
Disney's gonna get their money.
yeah. So I was
Yeah.
like, but from what you're saying, I'm like, dang, that sounded pretty
Yeah, he's
intense.
doing some crazy shit.
I mean, that's good because I mean, I feel like because Robert Downey Jr. got released.
Right.
You know, like basically he's he's
Later
getting
losers.
Chris Evans release.
Yeah.
But Chris Hemsworth is like, when's my exit? I've been playing because he was saying he's like,
Yeah.
I've been playing this character.
Over 10 years.
Yeah. And he's like, honestly, it's kid fuck style.
Yeah.
You know, like you can only get his biceps so buff.
Right. Yeah.
Right? You know?
Or even he said the tonality, if he were to come back to the character, the tonality would have to completely change. It would have to tell a different story, and there would have to be some type of resolve.
Yeah. Because he's kind of like a big doofus.
Yeah.
And I feel bad for him because
Well, it's because I think that
what's up?
I feel like they made him that.
Yes,
Yeah.
they did.
I feel like
That was like
the
TT.
dopest, most characterly, if that's a word, developed Thor was Infinity War. That Thor was badass.
Yeah.
And Ragnarok set that up.
Yeah.
But after that, it's just like, okay, well,
now he's like,
they're like,
yeah.
Ragnarok was great, and
Yeah.
they loved you in Infinity War. So let's Disney being Disney, let's make off of that. You know,
Let's put
let's
screaming
make
goats
another
in there.
movie. Yeah, let's make another movie. And it didn't. I mean, with some people it landed. I have friends
Sorry.
that love that movie. I thought I loved that movie at first,
Love
and
and
I don't.
Thunder?
I also don't hate
Love
it.
and Thunder?
Yeah, Love and Thunder.
It's not. It's not great, but it's solid.
So,
it's entertaining
my
and visually
dad-
stunning.
said that's an actual storyline though. But like it's like a legit storyline where like she like that's none of that that's straight from the comic book.
Lady
You
Thor,
know,
yeah.
and then
that
because
happened.
he
That
was,
happened
because he
recently,
was a
actually.
big like Marvel like person, and I was like, oh, so you gotta attribute it like being great, but like they almost took because like the success of Ragnarok was that it was kind of like it rode that boundary of like comic book, but then this is just being silly.
Yeah.
It's just being like a family movie.
Yeah.
And then it's like it's glitz and glam. Even his suit is like ridiculous.
Yeah.
Baby
you know?
girl's acting was a little wooden too. They just didn't have the right chemistry. Who's that
no.
actress?
Tessa Thompson,
No,
No, not Tessa.
Lady.
Natalie Portman.
Natalie
Yeah,
Portman.
Well, yeah, because she was kind of overdoing.
She was wooden.
Yeah,
That's why
she
they kind of
exited
bowed
out.
her out for the third movie. Second movie, she was done.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
being the mighty Thor like that, if you read that, so it was so MCU does this thing where they reinterpret stuff, which is cool to an extent, because why would you want to
A brand,
watch a
same
story
thing.
that you can read when be the same thing? Sometimes it's cool. I mean, you have Zack Snyder's Watchmen, which is like almost panel for panel, except for the ending.
Zack Snyder?
But
oh yeah.
yeah, that version of Thor is, if you read the comics, is pretty fucking badass. And it's an interesting, sad, heartbreaking storyline. and it kind of translated into the movie, but it was the same thing.
Yeah, I know. It like
So that's where she came back with that promise. Because I mean, who wouldn't want? If they asked me, hey, you want to be Thor? I'd be like,
play that
fuck
Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty cool.
I like money.
yeah. Give me a year.
What
to
if
get
we give you
massive
some money?
Henry Cavill.
Cavill.
He's also like he's not going to be Superman anymore.
Which is like crazy.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil. I mean, it's been out for like 2-3 months at this point, but like, like they like move mountains to bring him back for Black Adam,
Yeah.
and then James Gunn, Guardians of the Galaxy. I want to throw to that one's for you, J Flo, if you watch this.
Yeah, what do you do?
He's DC head now, so apparently he's scrapping everything and starting over. Which
Probably a
James
good
Gunn?
thing.
yeah, which is so James Gunn is gonna be to DC what Kevin Feige is to Marvel.
Yeah.
Kevin Feige,
Which isn't a
or,
bad
like,
move.
or-
Which
because
isn't a
he's
bad
actually
move.
good.
No, you're putting a nerd at the helm of a nerd ship.
I mean, his Suicide Squad movie was decent.
James
I
Gunn,
liked it. Yeah, it was cool.
I thought Zack Snyder's.
No, first Suicide movie.
Oh, Suicide Squad. Sorry,
yeah.
I'm thinking Justice
First
League.
Suicide Squad was David Ayer. Apparently, there's an Ayer cut too, which is fantastic. I've heard from the cast and crew because they didn't lie about Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yeah,
that was like
exactly.
a comic book movie. That was hard.
it was
like
cool.
it
Darker or like
shitted on what we got.
I didn't even
on
watch
the
that one.
Justice League or whatever you want to call it. So that was great. That should be canon, honestly. How are you gonna waste a character like Darkseid like that, you know?
Yeah.
But David Ayer, which did Fury, which is fantastic as well, did the first Suicide Squad, but James Gunn did the second one.
Yeah.
And the second one was good. I liked it.
Yeah, I thought it was way better than the first.
And I think, did he also do Peacemaker? Did James Gunn also do
the show.
Peacemaker? Yeah.
I didn't
Oh, dude, that show is hilarious.
I heard it was great. I didn't finish
you
it. I
haven't
think I
watched
watched like
it?
2 or 3
Oh,
episodes.
dude.
I loved it. I loved it. What I saw, but I didn't finish
It's just so ridiculous and really funny. And honestly, like John Cena as anything is hilarious. He's got good comedic.
It's crazy
chops.
how he's like the new era The Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean,
But he has a
if
little bit
anything,
more low key.
He is the new Rock.
Yeah.
You
because
know?
he came same background.
WWE.
Yeah.
Boom. Like I mean, have you ever gone to a wrestling match?
Yeah, actually.
It's like
It's 6th grade Halloween.
Oh.
At the it was called the Pond. It's Honda Center now, but yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. No, but like we went to one for like Brain Slam with what is it? Like they had New Japan wrestler and all that stuff. Dude, it's crazy how athletic they are and how charismatic they have to be. It's like top notch.
Yeah.
Well, all of that is rehearsed.
Yes.
And I mean, their bodies are still getting slammed, though it is controlled and stuff. Like they still have
get
to
hurt.
be athletically sound and ready to hit the mat, stuff like that.
Doing
like,
the flips and
yeah,
stuff like
exactly.
that.
Like
It's
that's
wild.
that's scripted. It is scripted, but it's difficult shit.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
especially like in a live setting.
Yeah.
Because like when you're doing a movie, that's
you can
scripted
take
too,
trip
but
and then
you
you
do
edit
different
cuts.
takes, edit cuts, stuff like that. But like this is okay.
Yeah.
Like you have 2 hours to fucking crush it.
No.
You know.
Yeah,
But
Time for
I
the
do
show.
love John Cena as like the new era of the Rock, because I think he could be, because everyone likes a big buff guy who's kind of just funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Terry Crews, The Rock,
Terry Crews.
And in
Yeah.
his recent roles, he's playing like Peacemaker
Yeah.
and stuff. He's playing like a hyper violent, like
Hyper-violent,
anti-hero. Like he's
super dumb.
like exploding people, like killing people, and that's entertaining there. I think
Another trailer that I saw was the Whale, the A24 film. They just well, because
Brendan
I
Fraser.
see you like wrapping up.
I want to talk about Pinnochio and rap.
Okay, so have you guys seen the trailer? for
I
the
did
movie?
see the trailer.
A24, Brendan
I
Fraser.
haven't seen it.
Brendan Fraser
I know
plays
the
like
premise though. Yeah.
Yeah, so I just saw I saw the trailer, and at the end it shows him like just breaking down, giving this crazy performance, and I was like, oh shit! Like I think he once I can't remember what award, but he got like a standing ovation for his performance.
like
and
8 minutes, something like that.
yeah. So, anyways,
He
trailer
delivered.
looks great. Yeah, and I saw they tease that a little bit. And
I mean, he used to be the guy
Yeah.
Go.
Mummy
The
one and
Mummy
two.
movie?
after the
Yeah.
Mummy,
I
but then
love
I think
that.
it was they did what is it?
George of the Jungle too.
Yeah,
George of the
George of
Jungle.
the
That was a
Jungle.
fantastic movie.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of different like stuff, and then all of a sudden he just like vanished.
yeah.
Someone said it's because like I think he pissed off Disney because they're doing this one movie was called To the Center of the Earth or something like that, and they switched
Journey
over
to
for
the
The
Center of
Rock.
the- Yeah.
Because like I think they had a second one, and he was like, I don't really want to do it, and they're like, oh yeah, okay.
Dang.
And then and then just kind of like almost like blackballed him,
Dang.
because he was just ghosted for a while.
Yeah.
He was gone. Yeah,
You know?
I mean, he's on Doom Patrol.
Oh,
There is the Batgirl movie that we're never gonna see.
oh,
But
Yeah, I
he
got
was
scrapped
Firefly,
totally.
I think.
Firefly.
He's the I forget what that was,
Villain?
but he was the
Yeah.
antagonist in that movie. Which might actually, I've heard rumors that might get revived or might actually be put on because he crushed it so well in the Whale.
Yeah, it's like oh, people want more Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, yeah,
We've
yeah.
got a Brendan Fraser
Exactly.
movie.
We missed
Exactly.
you. Where
George
have
of the
you
Jungle
been?
2. Let's go.
Which they did without him.
Yeah. I
It was a
like,
completely different guy.
I was like, oh, we're going to.
I think that was like a straight to
VHS.
straight to VHS.
Yeah, remember? You know, so I was like, this isn't the same.
Yeah.
George of the Jungle Reloaded.
Yeah, I've heard. I didn't watch it, but I've heard he was great in Doom Patrol, and then he did that Batgirl movie, and then he did The Whale.
Okay,
So.
nice.
Honestly, I think he's on the path to like.
The comeback.
If only we could get Brendan Fraser, and then the guy from Everything. Everyone at Once. Just
Yeah.
like the.
Combine them.
I mean, dude, their acting skills.
Maybe
are,
they'll be in
I mean,
Rush
'cause
Hour
they're both
4.
like old actors.
Yeah.
But like now, it's like this A24 has really paved the way for like
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
a lot of these older
Yeah.
actors. And then the other female actress in The Whale is also in The Menu. Have you seen that? You should go watch
What's
The
it called?
Menu.
The Menu. Okay.
The Menu. You would like it because you're a big food person.
I like Chef.
Yes. Oh yeah, huh?
Love Chef.
Nice.
Chef.
John Favreau.
Oh
Scarlett
yeah,
Johansson. That was
yeah.
a great
Oh
movie.
dude, that one's great.
So good.
Have you watched
It was
the?
low key diss to the MCU actually. It was low key. Like if you really pay attention, it's why John Favreau didn't do Iron Man 3. He was in it, but he didn't direct.
Oh, I see.
The first like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Is she the girl
But-
in Stranger Things?
Yeah, she's in The Whale. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
What?
What's her Max?
Billy Bobby Brown.
Max.
Oh, that's
No, not
her.
Millie Bobby Brown.
No, the other one. The other
name?
girl.
I don't know her name. Yeah,
No
Max,
way,
the
that's
red hair.
her.
The red hair.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. Okay.
she's in that.
Cool.
But yeah.
Nice.
Shout out to Gingers.
Well.
Last bit of content I
Well,
want
my
to talk
bad.
about is Guillermo Del Toro's Pinocchio. Have you guys seen this? You heard about
Guillermo's-
this? You seen this? You heard about this?
I've seen the
Great.
Pinocchios.
I heard it shitted all over Disney's version.
Oh,
I mean-
yeah, it's phenomenal. It takes
You
like
watched it.
it's immediately the best.
The goated Pinocchio movie.
It's the goated Pinocchio movie. It's so much. It's significantly better in every way possible.
Damn.
From top to bottom. I think he did it. And because he followed more the original tale as opposed to the Disney version.
Yeah.
But he also had a lot to say about just adult themes like propaganda, fatherhood. You know, the backdrop is in Mussolini's Italy. So
Oh, jeez.
while presenting all of these complex themes as this kind of magic of Pinocchio is happening, there's also this type of reality that is
Interesting.
ever present. And where the storyline goes, I won't spoil. Fantastic. It's one of those movies that if I were to have seen it in a theater, leaving the theater, I would
watch it
have
in
thought I
I'll watch it.
got more than what I paid for. It's like one of the Spider-Verse movies where it's just like, oh, that gave me a lot. It showed me a lot. That was really tight. Beautifully animated,
All
stop motion completely.
Crazy.
word.
It took them, I think, 7 years to make or something.
7 years.
And they have different. There's like this 30-second, like, or under a minute video that showed just like some of the time lapses of like them moving each. The set people just
That's
like
dope.
every action. They like even show like how the dolls were made, like the type of. There's just so much that went into this film, and them being able to have dolls that can like adjust, their expressions and moving that every frame. is insane.
Some of the
It's a long movie.
Yeah, some of the sequences they're just flexing. Like there's some specific sequences where there's like the camera movement is just
One
flowing
shot.
through a set, and there's so many characters that they're all doing stop motion, all doing such fluid movements in and out of the frame that it's just impressive. Like there's not some of these like little 10 seconds, 15-second sequences that you see. You're just like, goddamn. And it's all CGI. And I will say that there are like some godlike beings, some spiritual entities that are present within the story, and they have that fucking fantastic Guillermo Del Toro flair.
Love it.
One of the goddesses, actually no, there's multiple like just spirits that you see, and the design is phenomenal.
I need
It's
to watch
so
this movie.
good, and the lighting,
down.
the coloring, it's so good. And You gotta watch it. It's so dark too. It's pretty dark.
Yeah.
You gotta see it. Like
Netflix, right?
with Pinocchio in particular. Like it's good. It's good.
Funny enough, you said that if I saw it in a theater, I would have walked out.
Like wow.
Yeah. So I actually just want to go see Bordeaux, Alejandro Inarritu's new movie. I saw it on Sunday. And there's a Netflix specific theater. It's in technically Santa Monica Palisades. So I kind of like the area is really weird because it's like rich people and kind of just it's just like this feels like a different pocket of society.
Yeah,
but the theater's dope and they're playing Pinocchio at that theater. So if you ever want to
go check it out. Apparently at Tarantino's theater over here,
the New Beverly.
The New Beverly.
They're gonna show
playing it on film.
I'm down.
On film.
35 milli.
Yeah, on 35.
I saw Django Unchained there. I saw Dunkirk there.
Yeah, wow.
And then I haven't saw that's
Jackie Brown.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Jackie
Damn,
Brown. I
that's
like
cool.
Jackie Brown.
I love that theater. Popcorn's like $2-3.
And then
fantastic.
they got sliders. For
Yeah.
It's like 90s pricing for movies.
Dude, it's dope.
They donate the funding to charities and stuff. So my recommendation is go see Pinocchio, and it's on Netflix and you can stream it now. I would give it an easy 9.5 out of 10.
Okay.
Nice.
Solid. It was I will rewatch it again probably multiple times in my life.
That's
it was
come up a lot for me in the last week, so I think I need to see it now.
It's dope.
Yeah.
And I'd like to hear what you guys think too. Guys, final thoughts that you'd like to share with the people, and then we are going to wrap on this week's wonderful episode of the Dipped in Nonsense podcast.
Final thoughts.
Smoke weed, eat yogurt. Yeah. That's my final thought.
I think with everyone getting sick, take care of your body.
Yeah.
Listen to it, or else it's
Yeah.
make time to take time off, or else your body's gonna do it for you.
Especially in this era of like the holiday season. You're seeing a lot of people.
Yep.
It's very festive. You know, you're probably not going to be eating the best food.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
I've been a little bit more fair on myself because like I like to like put good things in my body, but like lately I've just been like, it's the holidays.
So bad, man.
It's an excuse.
Bulk, you know?
Yeah. You see how cold it is outside? I'm not wearing it.
It was my grandmother's birthday within the last couple weeks, but we had the party on Saturday and I took so much food home. It was like pozole, taco, dude, I still have pozole at my house. I'll probably heat it up when I get home.
Nice.
But just be mindful, I think.
Yep.
My final thought, the last thing I'll say, I know I talked a fuck ton.
No, that's good.
But I'm glad I met you guys. This was fucking tight. I love it.
We gotta hang out outside the pod.
Yeah, for sure.
Dude,
we're homies now.
Go to the food place. Dude, you were just talking about that place.
Oh yeah, right here.
Yeah,
the
right
mole
over
spot.
there. Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce it. Guelaguetza, I think it is.
Yeah, that place.
My friend August put me on that spot. Watched a lot of World Cup's happening right now.
Dude, Sunday.
Sunday. Let's go Messi. If he wins this, undisputed goat.
Yeah, they gotta be
anyone
friends.
says.
Yeah.
But yeah, to new friends and new relationships. I had a lot of fun. This was dope. I've never done anything like this, and it was cool. I like it.
Dope.
I do it again.
Nice,
We're grateful to have you on, and we're definitely gonna have you back on, Playboy.
Yeah, whenever, anytime.
Part 2.
The musical session.
Yeah.
When we can gather everyone. It's like it's like corralling cats.
Yeah. We'll bring all the homies. It'll be fun.
The gang.
Yeah.
My final thought is to have compassion for yourself. Just try and, don't beat yourself up on things because the world already does that. I'm just kidding. You gotta be your biggest fan in this journey of life. Don't be so hard on yourselves. Like if you had goals or something or you didn't do something that you wanted to do, don't beat yourself up about it. There's always I don't know. You can always get back to it and have compassion for yourself.
That's when the blessings come in.
My final thought is put yourself out there. You never know what rewards will come your way. Some people are more like you than you like to perceive. And don't let age or demographic barriers stop you from, putting your best self out there.
Nice.
Very wonderfully said, and it's been a very wonderful episode of the Dipped In. We'll catch y'all next week, motherfuckers. We're getting out of here.
See ya.
Good night.
Arrivederci. You filthy animals.